Kanye West stem players sales reach 1.3 million. Now, this was the first article from a few days ago, and this is kind of like, have you ever seen those, the memes? It says how it started, how it's going.
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Yes.
So it says, after announcing Thursday that his forthcoming Donda 2 will be streaming exclusively on his branded stem player, Kanye West, now known as Ye, it always looks like Ye to me, says he raked in more than 1.3 million in sales over the past day alone. So that's just that's the how it started part of the article. This was on the date of this article listed as actually I'm not seeing a date here, but I found this article like 3 or 4 days ago. And so then you go right over here to the next one, and this is from BET. It says, fans upset over Donda 2's that it fails to release on time. His loyal stans, see, that's shade that they're throwing right there, calling them stans, threw down big. It's like, have you ever noticed how they want people to support artists, but you can't support them too much because then you're bad.
Yeah.
As long as it's the artist they don't want you to support. Like, so they tell you to be big fans of musicians. They become a big fan of a musician, and now people are mad at them and calling them names. Mm-hmm. It's rude. Even though the LP failed to drop on February 22nd, I do like that he wanted to release it on 2/22.
Oh, like the baby chicks that are born.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah.
Fans were shocked and surprised after they dropped major coin to listen to Kanye's Donda 2, exclusive to his platform's stem player, and it has yet to be released. Oh, man, that meme is brutal.
I saw a picture of what he released it on. It looked like some kind of smoke detector with... Is it a physical object?
We covered it the other day. I said, imagine being so confident in yourself that in an age where we can't even get people to carry iPods to listen to music anymore, you think you're going to have somebody carry something that looks like one of the timed grenades from GoldenEye?
Dude, what the hell?
It looks like it looks like one of those JBL speakers that you put in your shower. And he should have put it like with the hook so you can hook it onto your belt loop. Dude, I'm like, this is a thing now. Have you seen the trend about people using, I'm not going to be able to remember it now, like iPod shuffles as jewelry?
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what was it? Was it the square ones or was it the long one that was like a USB stick?
No, it's the square one, the shuffle.
And they do like what, make earrings out of it or something?
Yeah, some people make earrings out of them, or like other people. I saw like a really creative one where they took it apart. Like there's a jewelry store nearby us where they take apart like certain devices, and then like they put resin inside, and then put like little glitters in it, and then you can make it into like accessories, like bracelets or rings.
It's probably why we're all gonna get cancer.
That's true.
Like, remember, it was like a long-held belief that phones were going to give you, were going to nuke your brain.
Do we still even, isn't the verdict still out on
people
that?
just gave, it's not like they had much time to test them before they became that popular.
Yeah.
So it says, announced via his social media channels last week, Ye, I'll always say, Ye. Ye said that his sequel album would not be featured on any of the major DSPs, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube. But if you want to follow us on YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, you can follow us there at Pop Culture Crisis. And on Spotify, well, yes, I listed that right there. We're on all those platforms at Pop Culture Crisis. Go ahead and give us a follow there. Check out every episode. Fans quickly dug into their digital wallets to fork over the $230 total for a stem player. Your face says it all, Carter. $200. So your
stem player.
I call it the stem cell.
I bet
player.
The shipping was like $20 too, and they probably had to order it like 30 days in advance.
Yep. Which is being billed as the first Yeezy tech product. I don't know. Was it Dane that was here? I'm getting waves flashbacks to when Soulja Boy released gaming consoles, and they ended up being the cheap Japanese, like the cheap knockoff.
I had no idea that happened.
That happened.
I should know that.
Yes, he released it, and then they turned out to be he didn't have the rights to actually sell them. Wow. They were not. They were products not for resale.
Way to look into that before you do something like that.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Oh, he just didn't give a shit.
Didn't give a crap. Maybe not. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Sometimes you can't tell what is for.
But he did it multiple times, so we'll see. The move proved very lucrative for West, who alerted his followers that he had brought in $2.2 million in a single day from the gadgets. I would like to know what he would have gotten in album sales in a single day if this had been released on Apple Music.
Probably a lot more.
Because, like, do people still buy albums? I mean, I see, like people still buy singles and stuff like that. Like, it's not all streaming.
Yeah.
It's well, man, I don't know.
Because every
It's
time
weird.
Tom McDonald releases a song, he does the thing where he lists how
if
far up
people
he is.
care about you, they'll buy it. But you got to make it damn convenient.
Yeah,
and
my
this is
friend-
not convenient.
My friend buys physical media and like the digital media just in case if they don't have it on streaming anymore.
I used to for every DVD set I bought, I would then torrent the same file so that I could just put it into a VLC playlist and not have to.
Yeah.
So it was ethical.
Yeah, because you bought it.
I bought it first, so it was technically ethical. Plus, you don't even get the bonus features on those ones. I'd have to handbrake the episodes with audio commentary that I wanted. I'd have to remember handbrake.
I don't know about that, but I only know about it because of the whole trial thing with Rittenhouse trial, and they were talking about it. But yeah, I used dude. I loved iTunes, and I liked to have physical copies of my stuff so I could listen to it without having the internet because I didn't have the internet all the time.
That's why I download all my songs. I have actual copies of the songs because it's not even just. It's like you could be. It's all well and good until you're on a road trip and you're in some place where your phone doesn't get reception and stuff like that. So
flying.
Does this mean that he's like? I get a huge kick out of this, and then he wasn't able to release it on time. So it says,
how's that possible?
And this goes far beyond this too. This is it gets worse. Let's just say that. He did the live show, like this live streaming Donda 2 audio, and it says throws Mike out of frustration. So apparently, this is why I wanted to talk about you at this because you do live music. So I imagine they refer to it as like they weren't able to catch up to the song in their ears. I'm guessing.
Okay, so yeah,
the people live didn't notice it as much, but the people who were watching at home, it was patently obvious what was going on.
Was there a delay?
Let's go into it. I believe that's but I'm guessing whoever this event sound engineer was is never going to work again.
Okay, I know exactly what this is, but let's listen to it.
So it says Kanye West might have someone else to aim his anger at other than Pete Davidson, his Donda 2 event sound engineer, who seemingly blew it in Miami, causing West to throw his mic in frustration. I did it right. I did it right. No, yay.
You did it wrong.
I did it wrong. This is his fault. It's his fault.
Mr. Yeezus.
No, just think of him like running for the birthday party, and he wants you to say yay.
I'll do my best. Ye premiered new tracks from his album Tuesday night at a live listening event for fans at Lone Depot Park in Miami. While the whole thing started smoothly with Kanye playing tracks from the new album, by the end of the event, streamed on stemplayer.com, had totally unraveled and Kanye looked visibly pissed off. Things really seemed to take a turn during the song Jail 2, which is my personal favorite Kanye song in the last 5 years. I love that song. When Marilyn Manson and DaBaby joined Kanye West on stage, it appeared Kanye was supposed to perform the song live, but having some serious issues in his in-ear. Yeah, your face is telling me everything I need to know here. Eventually throwing his microphone in frustration, Kanye never picked up the mic again. The final song of the night, Off the Grid, a song from the first Donda album, was a total mess. 5-0 Foreign and Playboi Carti joined Kanye to perform it, and 5-0's mic was totally out of sync, totally off with the music playing, sounding like he was trying to catch up to the song the entire time. We spoke to a couple of people who were in the audience who said that the audio issues weren't as noticeable as they were for those streaming from home. While most of Donda 2 sounded like it was incomplete, the fans in Miami certainly got their fair share of guest appearances during the show. Jack Harlow, Migos, Pusha T, Alicia Keys, The Game, to name a few. Elon Musk was among the celebrities to be in the crowd. I do want to point out here, remember those names. I don't know what all of these people's takes are on cancel culture or what these people's takes are on innocent until proven guilty or anything like that. But I want to just scroll back up here to the Marilyn Manson part.
I thought they were all canceled.
Yeah, I thought Marilyn Manson was canceled.
One of the topics I was going to cover today with you guys that I ended up getting rid of was a documentary called Phoenix Rising, which is a new, I don't know if it's Amazon. I think it's an Amazon Prime documentary about Evan Rachel Wood's documentation of her history with Marilyn Manson, saying that he groomed her at the age of 19, he groomed her, and then that there was like a point where she was like fed alcohol during the filming of a music video, right? And like basically he like penetrated her while filming the music video. It was supposed to be like simulated sex, and then they did the real thing, or like he did like the real thing to her. This was in like 2007 or something like that.
I'm sorry, what? For real? This is a real thing?
This is a real thing. It's a documentary called Phoenix Rising. I didn't want to cover it because it felt too inherently... But the point of this is that, so she's spoken out against Marilyn Manson, and Kanye's hosting Marilyn Manson, and then this article comes up. Kanye West taps accused rapist Marilyn Manson, DaBaby for Donda 2 listening party. Kanye West brought out accused rapist Marilyn Manson and embattled rapper DaBaby on stage for his Donda 2 listening party, which took place Tuesday night at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. The surprise guest marked the second time that West has included the controversial artist in a live performance, following their inclusion in last year's Donda listening party. Tracks performed at the event include so the point of this is that DaBaby's always in trouble with the LGBTQIA plus community, and Marilyn Manson has these accusations hanging over his head. It is an insane. I recommend everyone go look into the story. You can take whatever you want from it. I do believe in the idea of innocent until proven guilty, and I do believe in the idea of due process. So it is not for me to judge. I wasn't there. I know nothing about it. I have my own opinions, but for the sake of the matter, I think it's that the fact that this is an article at all. So what does this mean for these other artists? Because a lot of these people who live in this world where they talk about this stuff.
I see what you're getting at.
By these other artists being there, they are tacitly by proxy. They are supporting Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. So it makes me wonder. One thing that's becoming more true lately is that the world we live in is not Twitter. And just because psychos on Twitter raise a sting, and I'm not calling the people who are mad at Marilyn Manson psychos. I'm saying that it is a commonplace for people who are severely they love to start stuff with people. And so at what point do we realize that these people do not represent the general consensus of what America or the world believes? Twitter is its own weird fantasy place where it's actually just a hellscape of dislike, disdain, and hatred. So I just think it's funny because I would like to know what some of these artists' takes are. I mean, I can guess that Migos, Pusha T probably don't care much for cancel culture. I've noticed that a lot of the rap community does not. They understand what it's like to be to have people against them. So I also think of it as like one of those things that's uniquely Western and uniquely upper middle class to care about stuff like that.
Right.
So Jack Harlow, I don't know. Alicia Keys, I don't know. The Game, I'm guessing, and Elon Musk has made his views on cancel culture plainly obvious. So it is interesting to me that we live in this world now where literally everything, I was thinking about it when I signed up to do this show. You're essentially putting a gun to your own head every single day, because if you talk that much, you're bound to say something stupid, and even if it's not stupid, something that can be easily taken out of context and used against you. There's a reason why I fought against the idea of doing something like this for so long, because I just don't want the hassle and the problems that come with having to constantly have your views of the world, no matter how middle of the road, having them checked against whatever the current political and social niceties are of the time. So are these artists gonna will it get worse for Marilyn Manson, and then Jack Harlow has to come out and say, you know what? I always had a bad feeling about that guy when I was at that. We covered this yesterday when I talked about the thing with the actor who wanted to do more nude scenes. The world changes at an extremely rapid pace now. So you have to literally worry with every social interaction you engage in, whether you've been with, because then everyone's going to expect that you not only should have stood up against them, but you should have known, even if you had no way of knowing. So
I think people are tired of it.
I do. So I do have a lot of, I don't know if respect is the word, but for Kanye not caring about what society said about people who are not being tried in a court of law, they're being tried in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
He's letting them work, and he's working with them because he can't know either. He can't really know. So, like, I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I'm saying that in a world where Seth Rogen ditches James Franco at the slightest whiff of impropriety, even though he's known the dude for 15 to 20 years and they've been best friends, in a world where in Hollywood where loyalty is absolutely not a real thing, I can respect his ability to not let people tell him who can and can't be on his shows.
Yeah, man, just keeping your word and sticking to the path you set out on says, speaks volumes about your character.
And when you think about it, this means that every time he does this, another article like this will come up where they say Kanye West platforms these evil people. Are they evil? I don't know, but I can't know because it hasn't. There's no way to prove it. So do I know? Yes, people have made claims, but I can't know that. They can't know that. Not for sure. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say about that. It's one of those things where it's like you have to take every situation like this case by case.
Yeah.
But in this instance, it's wild. So, but they go down here and they talk about the lawsuit between Evan Rachel Wood. Evan Rachel Wood's documentary is about they want to extend the statute of limitations on sexual assault. A lot of people had questions about the fact that they say that she was in the term says essentially raped, but then she dated him for 4 years after that. So people have an issue with that. I don't know. Like it's just crazy to think that this is an article because it's not like he was arrested for this and tried.
Yeah.
So we really do live in a society where accusation is a form of currency and it's a weapon. And I'm not saying that that's what happened here. I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm saying that I'm just simply commenting on the prevalence of it in society.
Oh yeah.
So. I don't know how that will work out for them, but it's just Kanye just seems like all sorts of bad press right now between this and the Pete Davidson stuff and everything with the divorce. Hopefully, my hope is that it turns him in, it makes him a better artist.
He seems to thrive off of this stuff.
A lot of people do better as artists when they're embattled, as to take a word from earlier. He's dealing with a lot right now, and he can use that as creative fuel, as I'm sure you can understand.
Oh yeah.
So
can't write when things are going good.
Yeah.
That is miracle. Did you know about that documentary?
I didn't know about the documentary,
But you knew about the case
because I learned it from Blair White.
What did you think about it?
For me, like, I'm going to say the same thing like how other people are saying. Like, if she claimed that he raped her but started dating him like for 4 years, like dated him for 4 years, there's something missing there. Maybe she got groomed or like it's Stockholm
At
syndrome.
19?
Oh, 19. I didn't know her age. That's so different.
Okay,
now.
well here's another thing though. Like I was watching this, so there's this guy on YouTube called the Soft White Underbelly.
Okay.
He does these interviews with victims of this kind of stuff. I watched one this morning actually about the ex-girlfriend of a guy with paranoid schizophrenia, and he apparently did this kind of stuff, and she was like 16 when she met him, and they were in an abusive relationship, she claims, for like 2.5 years. And I empathize with the girl in something like this, especially when they're growing up and they're still young and that's kind of all they know. They feel like they can't leave because the guy's super manipulative. So if Marilyn Manson is that manipulative guy, I can't know that. I don't know the guy. But I can understand how, you could be in a relationship afraid to leave.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. The problem I have with all of it is it's unprovable.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no way we basically take the words of the people who say it. And in a world where, like I said, I'm going to reiterate every time, this does not mean it's not true.
Yeah.
But in a world where we have legitimized victimhood as a form of currency, you have to, if you're being honest, at least ask questions.
Yeah.
At least at the bare minimum, ask questions, and to see if things add up the way they do.
Yeah.
So I like this is a very difficult topic to cover and not be labeled one way or the other. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anyone involved in this case, but I do think it says something about loyalty that I've known people who have been involved in cases where they had a coworker who got in trouble, and they can't know that person that something happened to that person or something like that happened. But then everybody expects you to know. Everyone expects you to then.
Yeah, I've had similar experiences.
So I don't know. It's very, very dicey territory. Like even covering it is dicey territory. But I thought it went in with Kanye's ability to not care whether people, he will do what he thinks is good for his art, and he goes with it. And whatever that means to everybody, I can't tell you what to think about it. But I did think it was interesting to cover.
For sure.
So
Yeah, it is interesting. I don't know, but
the in-ear thing.
yeah,
I can see how that's frustrating, though.
yes.
everything is messy here.
Yes.
Kanye got a lot of messiness.
Not what he was hoping for, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
on that first live performance for that album.
Yeah,
2022 is not the year for him.
When you're backtracking stuff, you have to be on the click.
Mm-hmm.
And
Explain that.
so when you have non-live instruments being played and it's a huge part of your set, you basically have the whole thing orchestrated. It's like you hit play, you can either do them by song, or you can have the drummer have all the backing tracks. Like when I was on tour, it was just me and a drummer, and we had background vocals of mine backtracked. We had harmonies occasionally, some, and then we had synths and different automatic filters and arpeggios and stuff, basses. So if you're, and this stuff had to be wireless because you can't have a stage presence if you're anchored to a certain point of the stage, and I had to basically be all over the place because I was the one front man in a 2-person band going on all these stages. So it took us like 45 minutes to an hour to set all this stuff up, and then if something goes wrong, which I'm assuming he was either hearing not the same thing that was coming out of the speakers by like 5 seconds delay, or maybe he was hearing...
Does it even have to be 5 seconds? I'm assuming it can almost be worse if it's
it
less.
could be 1 second. And if he was streaming, so was he pissed that... So I can understand if he had like vocals backtracking, which I'm sure Kanye West, who's a rapper, and he relies heavily on instrumental beats and electronic stuff going on. If he's off and he doesn't know what's going on, and then his voice comes out of a speaker, people are going to be like, is he even singing right now? Which and like everyone knows this happens, but you're supposed to at least, it has to be part of the performance. And I can feel him being very embarrassed by that. If he's not hearing the right part of the song, he just looks really dumb in front of a bunch of people, especially at a release party. That's really shitty.
Yep, and his stage presence gets thrown off.
Yeah,
because he's not able to hit his mark.
Yeah, and it's just, oh man.
Yep. What is going on, everybody? It is episode 58 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is here with my co-host.